Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine. So today I'm really excited to share this video with you because this build is part of a super special project that I've organised. It's one of my collabs that I have organised myself, so it's called the Cozy Christmas Collab, and the idea behind it is that a load of us Sims YouTubers or content creators have created a load of small Christmas builds for you, or cozy Christmas builds. So basically the rules were that everyone had to contribute a build that related to Christmas and that was placed on a lot at least 20 by 30 in size or under, or that the build in total was under 100 tiles, which I think is the biggest option for the 3 tiny home options that we got with Tiny Living. So in order for a home to be able to be classed as small, it has to be under 100 tiles. So those were the rules, and I chose to build mine on a 20 by 30 lot. So that's how I restricted this build, and it is a Victorian toy shop. So I'll talk a little bit more about my build in a minute, but first I just want to direct you to all of the other collaborators' videos and their YouTube channels as well, and I've linked all of their YouTube links and social media information in the description, and also I've created a playlist of the entire collab, and I'll be putting that in the video itself, in the video description, and also I'll be linking the playlist on my channel. So if you just go to my channel homepage, scroll down, there should be a section for collabs, and there should be a playlist called Cozy Christmas Collabs. So go and check out everyone else's build if you're interested, because honestly this collab is filled with so many amazingly talented Sims creators. I am so proud to be a part of it and to have organised it, and just so many people that I love, not just as content creators but as friends. So I'm super excited for you to go and check out their stuff. So please do consider it, show them some support and love, because honestly they're all such lovely people. Yeah, and I was so happy with how my last collab turned out. Everyone was so positive about it, you know, who took part, but also you guys receiving their content, and you know, everyone really enjoyed it, and I really hope that this one is equally as successful. And I mentioned it before in my last collab, but I'm planning on making this a regular thing. So what I want to do is basically for every season, so for a year, I want to organise a big collab project like this, which brings together a load of Sims builders, and we'll each create a build that is linked to some sort of theme that is seasonal. So obviously this is the Christmas one, but the last collab was an autumn collab, and that's also on my channel if you want to go and check that out. But my idea for this collab was a Victorian toy shop, like I said, and it's a Christmas toy shop. So that was the link. So I decorated it all Christmassy inside, but you know, getting ready for Christmas, people are going to want to buy their toys for kids' stockings and things like that. And I was inspired by the Netflix film, or the Netflix original film Jingle Jangle, that I watched not too long ago. And if you haven't seen it, I really liked it. I mean, I had really high hopes for it. I thought that it could be similar sort of vibes to The Greatest Showman, which I absolutely adore. I love that film. I'm obsessed with the circus, and I go every Christmas with my boyfriend. We love it, and I love the songs in that film, and I also love the period costume and set design and everything like that, and just the whole atmosphere of it is absolutely, you know, incredible. And I was kind of hoping for the same standard, but I think that's pretty hard to match. So the songs were really good in it. I really liked the songs, but I feel like overall the film wasn't quite up to the same standards, which is, you know, understandable. I think it's just produced at a lower level, but fair enough, it's a Netflix original. So, but in that film, I think it's based mainly in the 19th century, maybe early 20th century, and a lot of the interior is that sort of trope Victorian toy shop. And I love 19th century anything basically, because if you don't already know, I studied art history at university, and my speciality, or my preferred type of art to write about, was 19th century art. So I just love anything with that theme. And so yeah, I loved the set on this film. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. All the costumes and everything were beautiful, and I was just inspired to to create a similar sort of build, this sort of Victorian toy shop. So you'll see that I started out heavily inspired by the film. So the exterior, it's got loads of ornamentation on the main windows, but the main building is almost kind of medieval looking, and that's actually because the film was set in my hometown, or the city nearest me, Norwich, and Norwich is actually a medieval city, so it makes sense that the exterior of the building would actually be much older, but that the interior would be of a newer or 19th century aesthetic. But I kind of figured that it would be a bit weird if I called this video a Victorian toy shop and then had a Tudor style building as an exterior. I thought that would be a bit confusing to some people, and it didn't quite work well in The Sims anyway, like the way that the windows were looking in relation to the Tudor like main building. It was just looking a bit odd, and I don't think The Sims is just quite detailed enough to get that combination looking right. So I switched up the exterior and I made it more Victorian, and I kind of took my inspiration. Actually, I got my inspiration from a Playmobil Victorian mansion that I used to have as a kid. Like, I was obsessed with it. It was so gorgeous. It was like a doll's house basically. I know, getting my inspiration from kids' toys. How topical. But yeah, so that was the inspiration for the exterior builds that I ended up going with, was the main structure of the house. So I do change it up a little bit later on, but I wasn't too happy with how the build turned out, just because I feel like we don't really have enough ornamental details that, you know, are typical of the Victorian era or the 19th century or early 20th century. So yeah, it was a bit of a shame that I couldn't do what I wanted to do. What I was after is like a wallpaper with brightly coloured panelling, and we have a few sort of panelled wallpapers. They're all either quite dull colours, or this one that I used on the exterior, I start out having it as blue, but then I think I turn it to a dark brown in the end. That one has like paint in the middle, like the whole middle section was paint, and so when I changed the wall height, or when I got rid of the freezers, it kept showing like a section of paint, and it just looked really weird, and it wasn't how it was supposed to look at all. So I ended up changing it, I think, to brick. And so yeah, not entirely pleased with the exterior, but I was really happy with the interior in the end, I think. So as you can see, I'm really focusing on the shelf displays of these two bay windows, and I figured, basically because I figured I could get a load of screenshots out of them. But I figured that was kind of part of the trope, is the walking past the Victorian toy shop window, and you can see all of the pretty toys in the window, and they're all displayed nicely, and yeah, it's just really pretty and decorative. So I focused on those mainly, and I tried to keep it as historically accurate as possible in terms of what types of toys I included in the shop. So I didn't include any lights. I could have done, I could have just said it was late Victorian, early 20th century, but I didn't. I put candles everywhere instead, just because I thought it would make for a cozier vibe. And then I tried to have like loads of wooden carved sculptures. And if you don't already know, you can unlock all of them using cheats, using build cheats, and they are from the crafting table. So that's how you can get them in game. And then I use a load of the knitted toys that we got with Nifty Knitting. And I also use a load of those Nutcracker toys and sculptures of those cats and dogs that you get obviously in Cats and Dogs. And then just some teddies and musical instruments and train sets as well. I do a thing a little bit later on in the build where I think it's the object from Cats and Dogs that's like a glass display of Brindleton Bay in a glass case. I think it comes with the museum or something like that, and it's got the lighthouse and it's got an island, and then it kind of reminded me of like a train set that you can get, like a model train set with all of the trees and like a whole village maybe. And what I did is I just sized down the train sets and I placed them on the roads in that object, just so it looked like a proper expensive model train set for kids. So I thought that was a really cute detail. You can't see it very well, it's not too obvious, and it didn't really show up very well in the screenshots, but it's just a cute idea to know that you've done. So I hope you like that detail. And then, like I said, I used a load of those knitting items, and I kind of put them in the end, I put them in a little arts and crafts section of the shop, and there I had a couple of easel objects, I had the woodworking station, and I also had some knitting bars baskets, and then I put a load of these craftable sculptures but also the knittable items on some shelves so that they kind of were all in one sort of artsy area. And then I put some musical instruments in an area, and I actually use a trick that I used in my Gilmore Girls video not too long ago when I built the music shop. What I did was I sized up the violin so that it looked like a cello or a double bass, and I thought that was a really cute effect. And then I used a medium sized one for like a viola, and then it's obviously the small one for a violin, but I thought that they were cute. And I didn't furnish the upstairs. There's actually like room for an apartment if you were interested in using this build. It's on the gallery, by the way, and there's no CC, so it's easy for you to download, and I'll leave my gallery information in the description below if you're interested. But yeah, I didn't furnish the upstairs just because I didn't think it was a part of this build. It wasn't really, you know, part of the toy shop. I could have done like a Santa's workshop type area where, you know, someone crafts the toys maybe and had a little story behind it, but I just wanted it to be about the toy shop because that was the only thing I really cared about, and I didn't have any major inspiration for the upstairs section, so I just left it. So I hope you don't mind, but I quite like the interior, so hopefully that's good enough for you. Oh yeah, and then I also included the puppet show, which I think comes with the kids stuff pack. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like all kids bedroom furniture, and that comes with like a little puppet show object. So I thought that was a cute toy that you definitely would have seen in the 19th century, and I included a load of dolls houses as well because I figured that was definitely something that you would have seen in that era, and there's one in particular that looks like a Victorian style building. So, and then I think I also included the castle sort of doll's house toy as well. And I know I'm a little bit late in saying this, but I just wanted to take the time to thank everyone that joined my first ever stream the other day. I actually record my videos quite a bit in advance, so to me it's just after I've streamed, but to you it's probably quite a bit after when I first streamed. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who is there, because honestly I was not expecting so many people to be there and for everyone to be so chatty and so supportive. I was super nervous. I wasn't that nervous. I wasn't worried about it up until the day of at all. I was kind of chill about it because I'm used to performing like as a singer. Didn't really think about it, doesn't really bother me. But as I was coming up to the moment of actually having to do it, I was getting more and more nervous just because of tech things. Like I was quite nervous that tech problems would go wrong because I'm not the most tech savvy person, and if something did go wrong on stream I would be absolutely lost. And I was also kind of nervous that chat would be a bit quiet and that would make me really awkward because I tend to babble when I'm nervous. I just talk a load of nonsense, and you know that might be really awkward or uncomfortable for people. So I really hope that anyone that was there enjoyed themselves, and if you didn't, I'm really sorry, but I promise to be more interesting next time because I'll be calmer. But yeah, I just had a whole load of adrenaline and I kind of, yeah, made me a little bit nervous, but I think it turned out okay. I did enjoy myself. There were so many lovely people in chat that I was just so happy to talk to, people that I didn't expect to show up as well, and it was just so lovely to see that there's so many people in the community that are really supportive and wanted to chat with me and spend time with me, and people not in the community too that have just joined because they've watched my Sims videos, you know, that don't make YouTube content themselves. And that was actually really nice that someone would take the time out of their day to go and, you know, watch me on Twitch who doesn't really know me that well. I'm always blown away by those of you who are not YouTubers who have discovered me and actually are really active in the comments. I'm so grateful. Not that I'm not grateful to, you know, YouTubers who support me, obviously I am, but just because as a viewer before I started creating YouTube content, I would never comment in people's videos, you know, I would be really inactive. But obviously since starting my channel I've learned how important it is for the growth of a channel for people to comment and like and do all of those things. And so I'm just really grateful when someone who doesn't, like I say, doesn't have a YouTube channel does all of those things, and yeah, it just really helps. So thank you if you were there, and thank you if you do those things. I really appreciate you. Sorry, I'll stop being so sappy now, but you can see that it's putting most of it together, and it starts off looking a bit messy because I just place all of the objects that I can think of in a pile in the middle of the floor, and then I try and rearrange them and make them look nice. And I will also apologise because I actually go back after having finished the video and change the wallpaper. I change it to like a wood panelling all around, I think, on the interior, and I do that that after I take some of the screenshots. So some of the screenshots where you can't see a lot of the wall has that wallpaper, the yellow striped wallpaper that you can see now, and then some of them have that wood panel, and I think the build on the gallery just has the yellow wallpaper, but the wood paneling is actually on the window area. So if you did want to make it all wood, you can just copy and paste that wallpaper that's already in that part of the build. So just FYI. But yeah, I change it, so if you come to the screenshots and you're like, whoa, it looks so different even in between different pictures or different screenshots, that's why. It's just because, I don't know, I didn't like the way how some of the build looked with that wallpaper. I thought some of it looked okay, like certain angles, but then I didn't like that living room section, you know, with the fireplace. I thought that it just needed the warmth of the wood tone just to tie it together. And you'll see that eventually I do change the wood floor to a red carpet, and I just felt like, I'm pretty sure that carpet was definitely a thing in the 19th century. I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure it was a thing. So correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like a patterned red carpet, and I just thought it made it feel more Christmassy. It brought that red colour into the build more, and it just made it feel, yeah, like really warm, really cozy, really Christmassy. So I hope you like it. We're coming up to the end of the build now, so I'm gonna head off. Like I say, please, please, please show your love and support to the other collaborators in this project. It has been so much fun working with them. They are all such lovely people, and they all are amazing content creators, like I say, and they deserve your love and support. So go and check them out. There's quite a lot of them, so what I might do is, if it turns out to be quite a lot of information in the description box, I might keep it to a minimum and just have their YouTube links and maybe one social media link, and then maybe describe what their build is, you know, what build they're actually creating, so that, you know, you can pick one that suits you if you don't fancy, because I think there's like over 20 people, maybe 20 and 30, but obviously, you know, watch as many as you can, or as many as you're comfortable with. That would be greatly appreciated by all of us. But yeah, if not, I'll probably leave a few details and you can go and see what takes your fancy. And if you are one of the collaborators watching this, I just want to say a big thank you for being a part of this collab, and I hope you had fun, because I definitely did. You guys are all so sweet and lovely, and I just love chatting to you guys. And if you want to be a part of my next collab, you are more than welcome. It's also going to be a very, very open project, and what I'll do is I'll just leave a link to my Discord in the description box below, and I'll probably leave one on my social media, like my Twitter and stuff, very, very soon. And when I do organise a new project, I will advertise it and I will post on my social media, so go and follow me there if you're interested in that. But or just message me and I'll make a note of your name and make sure that you are definitely contacted when the next collab comes around. But it's probably going to be a spring themed one, so it won't be for a while. But yeah, there's definitely going to be a big open collab project. So I hope you enjoy yourselves, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like, comment and subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye guys.